Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I am Jim Brown, Vice President and General Manager for William B. Meyer Incorporated. We're based in Stratford, Connecticut. We have been doing business in Connecticut for 100 years. We're an independent company. However, we are an agent for United Van Lines in Mayflower. Our primary business is arranging residential and commercial moving and storage. I'm here to raise and speak to our concern for the proposed $2.4 billion increase in new and higher taxes. According to the Yankee Institute, Connecticut taxpayers already have to work until the middle of May, longer than the residents of any other state, just to pay for all their federal, state, and local taxes. And now there's a proposal to raising our taxes even higher. As a moving and storage company, we have a unique perspective of businesses and people moving in and out of the state. I believe statistics show there's a direct correlation between the fact that Connecticut is considered anti-business and the out-migration from Connecticut. And businesses and people are answering by moving out. Some specific examples of companies that we have moved either all of or part of their facilities out of Connecticut are as follows. Years ago, we moved GTE from Stamford to Texas. We moved UPS from Greenwich to Georgia. We moved International Paper from Stamford to Tennessee. We moved Olympus recently from Stamford to Tennessee and Ohio. We moved Sealed Air that had a plant in Wallingford to South Carolina. They still have a facility in Danbury. Interestingly enough, too, Sealed Air just moved their headquarters from New Jersey to North Carolina. Northrop Grumman, we moved from Stamford to Maryland. ExxonMobil had a plant in Stratford. We moved them to different facilities across the country. And it continues. This summer, we will be moving 2 more companies out of state. We're going to move Stolt-Nielsen from Norwalk to Texas. We're going to move Trent Capital from Greenwich to Florida. This is just us. Sample companies at West End Moving and Storage used to be in business in Bridgeport, who they moved out of state. Cadbury Beverage, they moved from Trumbull to Texas. Nova Labs, they moved from Danbury to North Carolina. You know, who's next? Major corporations that we have moved into the state in the past 15 years, 0. Before my time at William B. Meyer, during the 1970s and 80s, Meyer moved multiple companies into Connecticut from New York. As a matter of fact, we made a living at it. That's commercial. That's businesses. As far as residential, the stats in my statement represent United Van Lines data on residential relocations in and out of the state. United Van Lines calls the study the National Movers Study. I also have a copy of a map that displays the same information. Based on the moves we provide as a van line, the study will rank states as an inbound state, an outbound state, or a balanced state.
Mr. Brown, if you could summarize, please. We've already heard the bell go off.
Basically, we're an outbound state. We're moving more people out of this state than inbound, and the stats here will show it. CEO, just to summarize this last point, CEO Magazine does a survey. The survey ranked Connecticut 45th among all the states to do best to do business with. Number 1 was Texas as the best. We're ranked 45. Number 2 is Florida. Number 3 is North Carolina. This is where we're moving our people to. This is where we're moving companies to. And they're all considered inbound states. And by the way, in my industry, we're not immune.
Thank you for your testimony. A couple of weeks ago in the Finance Committee, we heard a union policy analyst make the comment that people weren't leaving Connecticut because of the taxes. They were leaving because of the cold weather. No kidding. That was on tape. That was Wednesday the 29th, Finance Committee meeting. What would you say to that? How would you respond to that? I mean, it was his perspective, but what would you...
Right. I say it's been cold in Connecticut in the winter for thousands of years.